to it, I feel like, or something.
Boom, 100 gold for every other 100 gold you spend on awards.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's a little unfortunate. Anyway, Underlord has been picked. This hero a lot worse than I think it was in the last meta. Now, of course, doesn't work very well at Roshan with the Firestorm. Not quite as good anymore. What else? I mean, why is this hero not getting picked? What else did they nerf about this hero?
I'm not a huge fan. I don't remember exactly what it is that they nerfed about him. There was the Roshan thing, like base damage, or it was something real. Maybe movement speed. It was something like really small, I think. Maybe talents or something like that. But I'm pretty sure the main thing is that Roshan factor, and then also the fact that Underlord's not really played as a dual laner, at least traditionally, because he needs those levels before he can actually do a lot in the laning phase. And dual lanes have just been reigning supreme for at least a couple weeks now. So I think it's a combination of those things.
Okay,
it makes sense.
I'm interested to see how well he's gonna do.
Let's see. I'm actually gonna look up what the specific changes are. Underlord.
Let's see if I can do it faster than you.
Probably. Dota 2 Gamepedia. Where is this? Change logs. Okay, Dark Rift mana cost was increased, and then Firestorm no longer works on Ancient Creeps.
It must have been
Roshan.
some base stat or talent then, because it's not any of his abilities other than the Roche thing.
Dark Rift, and then also in the previous patch, they reduced his base armor from 2 to 1, movement speed from 290 to 285. So he's been kind of getting like progressively nerfed.
But I guess it just
pretty small, but also like when you take a hero and you apply some small changes, then there's like a meta shift as well. A lot of the time heroes will like completely fall off. Although he's seeing a bit of a resurgence today, and although I don't know if it's been going all that well, to be honest.
I have no idea. We're gonna find out if this hero is gonna be good or not. But at this point,
Undying Underlord. Well, that's it's a very green tanky guy lane.
Green, gross-looking dudes that are, weird. One's a zombie, the other one is a pit lord from Warcraft 3.
Are they both dead? Is Underlord dead?
No, pit lords aren't. They're just a different race of creatures.
Oh, damn! Am I racist?
Maybe.
Whoops.
I mean, to answer your question, probably, but that's okay.
Sorry to any pit lords out there. I didn't realize you guys were alive.
Sorry. God, you Canadians say sorry the funniest way.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
That was racist.
You're right, it was, and I don't give a damn because it's funny.
You McDonald's eating piece of trash.
Whoa. See, you're not being racist, you're just being stereotypical. That's different.
Exactly. No, I'm being ironically racist, so it's okay.
There was no racism in that last statement. You're just being stereotypical. Come on, man.
I don't know the definitions, man.
Okay.
Not a philosophy major.
Stereotypical just means that you talk
stereotyping.
Yeah, exactly. You're just stereotyping Americans for we eat a lot of food, which obviously is true for certain Americans, but is not, it's a stereotype. I don't want to get into the details of racism because most people know what it is. It's like in chat when if there's two different SEA teams playing and they call Indonesians, and by the way, this is not my phrase, I think it's really disgusting that I'm about to say this. They call Indonesians Indogs or something like that, which is, by the way, super fucking racist and super gross. It's awful, actually. If you're an SEA and you're like one country and you're watching another team from another country play, please don't be racist. Please be a real human and just accept that, there are different regions and different types of people and everybody's really cool. Don't be fucking stupid. That's all I gotta say. Sorry about that. I had to get on my horse there real quick, but
that is the kind of motto to life though. Don't be fucking stupid.
It's pretty simple, yeah. It's just don't be an ass, don't be stupid. It's pretty easy to be a good person. Obviously we're getting further and further away from that with the way that our countries or America's in right now, but
it's rubbing off on us Canadians too. I feel like I'm becoming worse and worse.
Nah, you're fine. Canadians are generally good people. I don't.
I've
think
gotten fatter too.
I'm not saying that this is a stereotype. Not all Canadians are good people. I'm sure there are racist Canadians out there, but we're getting off topic. This is not something that we should be talking about. Dota, specifically, they're doing another dual lane with my pro and Lionax. Although Lionax was a Nature's Prophet last game, so he actually wasn't in this bottom lane. So they're going to switch things up. Obviously, Skywrath and Axe, very good combination. Eventually, Axe will be able to just cut the wave. And I think it's actually pretty good against Underlord, too. Underlord will have to tank the wave under his tower, which is kind of tricky. And Rior is also good. He's super low. He got spammed down. He has to go home, which is really bad, actually, I think, for him.
Yeah. That's like 30 seconds of wasted.
They're gonna kill Dogbrain though, top lane. He has no stick charge. Oh, just kidding. At a fairy fire. I thought he had no. I thought he wasn't gonna be able to survive that, but good effort to.
He's got a salve too, so that's like a pretty efficient use of his regen right there. Gets a full wave for it too.
So the good news is that Titans are dodging this Axe Scarith lane, and they're actually doing okay. Well, I say okay. You know, neither of these teams are CSing in this lane, to be honest, but.
It's one of those lanes.
Yeah.
You just battle so much that nobody gets last hits.
I don't know, but I would assume at some point my pro probably cuts waves bottom, right? I mean, is there any reason not to do that in this lane?
I don't see why you wouldn't do that. I think just sitting against an Underlord who's firestorming the wave and an Undying who's decaying you isn't going to do anything for you. You can just cut and get like double efficiency pulling to a camp.
Yep.
Then Underlord can do that, and then the supports will leave.
Yeah. What does Scarith do though when you start cutting? Does he like just try to zone at the Undying? Does he go to a different lane? Like what does he do?
You probably just leave the lane, to be honest. This is like in 90% of patches, this is just a 1v1 and both of them cut. It's weird. It's weird that in this patch it's so heavily focused on this.
I like playing as Axe against Underlord because when you do cut, you think he's tanky, but if he takes too many creeps, he actually can. Like I've killed Underlords playing as an Axe, just cutting waves, just because he gets super low HP, he has no regen, and then I just go in and I call him and I get a kill, which is nice. Although
dude, that Axe is.
He's taking a lot of damage.
Oh my god.
Rior did a really good job getting a CS so that he didn't, take any more battle hunger damage. He's actually got so many decay stacks. Axe has like no HP. He's maybe dead. He's barely going to live. He has 70 HP. He has 16 decay stacks on him. Rior is 300 HP with a total of 1100. He gets off another double decay. He has 20 decay stacks.
I think he can nuke him maybe.
He does have Soul Rip. I'm surprised he's not. He's close to the wave.
I guess he's gonna soul rip himself.
Okay, he's dead. He lost the strength right as he was about to soul rip. That's hilarious.
Oh my god.
Ah, that's so tilting as an Undying player.
That is. Oh, that's an aggressive tip there.
It's very well. Scamberloo killed the gyro, which we didn't see because we were watching bottom so heavily. My pro buddy, you need to be careful. Maybe you're gonna die. All right, now you soul rip him. Soul rip. Ah, I didn't do enough damage. Good effort.
I feel like these soul rips could come a little bit sooner, but he's really trying to get it when he's on like a low HP with the decay stacks. Like it's not. He's using a little bit of finesse in this lane. He's trying. Unfortunately, ended up killing him because he waited so long before.
This Undying could have a better lane. I'm surprised it's not going as well. And Axe is still getting CS. Both heroes are getting farm.
This is one of those weird scenarios where like nobody's really losing.
Yeah, it's true.
Because it's just the supports kind of duking it out with each other, two like harassing supports. Once again, that's why I kind of don't understand why they're here at all. Because I feel like Axe could just cut, Underlord could just cut. I think the supports are just battling each other in the jungle for no reason.
Maybe he was waiting for a level 2 counter helix. He went level 2 battle hunger, by the way, which is really interesting.
That's pretty common.
Is it? I thought you just get one and you could call.
No, people skip Berserker's Call now because the battle hunger is just so good now at the low levels.
Yeah, that's probably fair. He's almost gonna kill Undying with it. If you find, he might actually just kill him here.
The cooldown is really the big deal because you can cast it 5 seconds earlier. It's ridiculous. He's.
Uh-oh. There's a battle happening. Scamberloo leaping away is another leap and a mango. He wants Boom Bell. That Purifying Flames did not do as much as he thought it was going to do.
That's gonna heal him.
Yeah. Now the Axe is cutting the wave.
That's definitely the play. Because what does an Undying Underlord do to this?
Apparently some damage. Can they actually kill him? Yep. Okay.
He's got.
Okay, that was the answer to your question. What can they do to this? They could just kill the Axe.
Well, that's not fair. He's so low cutting the wave though. Like. Cutting at 40% HP.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have been that low, especially against the Siege Wave. But,
yeah. The Siege Wave beats the living hell out of you.
This is a weird game, by the
way. The way you cut the wave on Axe is not number one. He's got 2 points in counter helix, and then you cut the wave by allowing this wave that's happening right here to be sacrificed, and you go cut while they're dealing with this wave, so they can't set up on you. You're not going to be at low HP. I am kind of whining about it. He's right.
Crybaby indeed. Are almost dying. They don't have enough to kill him. Lionax only level 3. Of course, he went for the max concussive shove build. We'll probably get this Ancient Seal next. Get a little extra damage. And get off the Firestorm. My pro will walk out. He kind of needs Strangles. This is one of those.
Blue Bell's dead.
Is he?
Oh yeah. No way he survives.
He should be dead. He has another Purifying Flames, but that would just kill him. So.
They were being very conservative with their spells there. Knowing that they'd kill him, they didn't use anything. Mirana actually had 2 leaps, I think.
So wait, this Mirana's top net worth, not CS, excuse me, net worth. The Gyro is nowhere close to her. This is a pretty awful lane for Alpha Red. They do get the kill on the Undying bottom, which is nice, but like, they're getting really good farm for both the DK and the Mirana, which is really good news, I think, for this Taskus Titan team. Even if the Underlord's not getting as much as he should be able to get.
It's honest. It's pretty even. Like it's hard. It's hard to. Oh, never mind. Well, maybe not so even.
This is a pretty brutal lane. You get a burst rate, you hit an arrow, and then you just get the kill easy.
But it's weird. It's weird because you have this like totally even lane mid too, and then an Axe who's farming really well in the bottom lane. I'd say that this obviously favors the Titans a little bit more, but I still think that Axe could pull through for the Gyro. The Ember can make space. Like for instance, Ember's ganking top right now. That's definitely a play he wants to make if he wants to help the Gyro.
He's attempting to gank top. It is not working out as
he is definitely giving it his all.
Yeah. Okay. They rotate Lion Axe in, and now they're gonna turn and get a kill, which is nice for Ember Spirit. But if they don't get that kill, that would have been a lot of time wasted, I think, for him. But he does.
Oh yeah, for
sure.
It, so. But the thing is, it's space for Gyro. Gyro goes and takes mid now. Like that's exactly what I was thinking they would do, just to make sure that all 3 cores come online for the early game kind of fighting.
All right. The checklist.
They're smoking to mid too.
Oh, they might. This is a tough kill. Although they have Dog Brain, level 3 Rocket Barrage. It's really hard to kill him. I guess with Fearless, they should have enough damage.
They have a lot of magic damage, though. They have a lot of magic damage.
James is gonna be dead. Good Dragon Tail, but he's still dead. Breathe Fire with the damage reduction. Maybe he's not dead. Okay, he's dead.
Yeah.
He's very dead. They did get the kill on the Axe with the Scamberloo Mirana. Like it's a hidden arrow or something.
Axe is one of the easiest heroes to arrow because he's constantly standing in your creep waves, which you can just arrow through, and then he's just sitting there eating shit on a creep wave that you can just keep whacking them, and it's pretty easy.
Pretty great stuff.
It's for sure. It's honestly the Axe is probably the easiest hero in Dota to arrow with Mirana.
Yep.
Arguably to the point where you could maybe argue that Mirana is actually a counter to Axe, because it's that easy to arrow him and catch him out.
The flip side is that he does have Call, and he does have a Vanguard, so the damage that Mirana does early on in the game is already not a lot. She doesn't do a lot of physical damage. Now you add a Vanguard and a Berserker's Call to that, and she does even less. But
although
she does have Starstorm and
Aquila, 2 agility bands, and then power treads, he's actually hitting for 100 plus 10 right now.
This is why this hero is really good now too. I think like early game Mirana used to be awful. I think she's still not as good as she could be, like against somebody like a Drow who does a lot of damage early on into the game. But with the leap move, attack speed rather, all that good stuff, she actually can do a lot of work in some of these early fights. So, and I think she's
arrow on Axe.
Yeah, they hit it, but this is still going to be a tough kill with the Vanguard. Still with a Starstorm, it's more than enough damage. That's the difference maker, is that Mirana does have that Starstorm damage early on into the game, which is nice.
He's got Dragonlance on Mirana.
Yep. Extra range, really strong.
Old Dragonlance.
I've seen this build a few times in a couple of games, and getting that range is really important. And I don't know, Mirana she's in a really better spot now. Obviously, I think she's probably dead here, but still.
Maybe not physically. Oh,
God, are you kidding? She doesn't have another leap, though. He's going to just like, he doesn't have Slight.
He has no
Remnant. He actually can't do anything to get this kill, I think, unless he gets close enough for chains.
That is so sad. There's so much sadness and despair in this game.
That's the top net worth hero. He would have catapulted her had he gotten that kill. And they lose the Tier 1 tower mid with James E. God, I love DK because honestly, every draft, a lot of the drafts I've seen in Dota right now just feel aimless if you're just a bad team that doesn't know how to draft. And DK kind of gives you that okay, here's what we need to do. We need to take buildings. We need to take objectives. DK gives you that focal point, whereas some other heroes don't really give you that. If they just you just run around aimlessly sometimes. You don't have the objective taking capabilities of a DK. He's gonna get 2 Tier 1 towers in the span of a minute. So
I feel like Lycan kind of does that too.
Yes,
any of these heroes that want to group up and do something big with an ultimate, push objectives with an ultimate.
It's pretty simple. You literally just look at your cooldown. It's like playing WoW and just using Power Ores or whatever it's called now. I can't remember what they're called, but it's like these. I don't know if you've ever played WoW. I think you have.
Yeah, I played WoW for 7 years.
Okay, so you know what Power Ores are then. It's a mod. It's It's a UI, I can't remember what the add-on, I guess, that essentially just shows you when all your cooldowns are up. So you can just look and see, okay, what do I do next in my rotation? And it just makes it essentially plays the game for you. So it's kind of what, like, you just play around your cooldowns. Speaking of playing around cooldowns, they don't have the Elder Dragon form to fight this, but they do have an Undying with Tombstone. Call does come out. False Promise coming in. Mystic Flare going to do some damage. DK is still somehow alive, even with a lot of damage coming in from Fearless. They're going to get this tier 1 tower. It's going to be 2 dead in the meantime. They will finally get Rior, but it's already taken them way too long. Jamesy finds a kill onto Boombell. He is, of course, Moonlight Shadowed, and the duration of this at level 1 even is still really strong, so he just runs away. They have no vision, and he just TPs out.
They're still Moonlight Shadowed.
It's a really good ability.
Ridiculous. I feel like after the 12-second mark, your brain is just like, okay, where are they?
Where are they? Yeah, did they TP? I don't know where they are.
Are we gonna, like, you basically you have to preemptively have detection.
18-second duration? Are you kidding? At all levels? Why? That's so dumb. Oh my god, that's so tilted. And every time, every time in every Dota game you play against Samrana, when it comes out for the first time, you're just like, I gotta buy detection now, because nobody buys it, beforehand. At least not in my pub games. I guess some people do if they're really good at Dota. But
not in mine either. Not in mine either.
I gotta buy Dust now. Oh, okay, he just missed a point blank arrow. Not that it matters. He's gonna get the kill. Oh, maybe not. Looks like Boombell will survive. He missed a point blank arrow. That is unfortunate. But yeah.
Always sad when that happens.
This is Taskus Titans just abusing their draft, abusing the heroes that they have, and AR just not getting enough farm for their gyrocopter, not having enough of a lead, and they're now going to lose this axe probably as well. Well, he's very tanky actually, so maybe not.
Gyro really is the huge deficit here. I think the other heroes are like relatively even. It's really just the Gyro that's suffering really hard. I mean, the axe is kind of feeding a lot of net worth in, but he's making space, so... Although I don't know how much space he's making right now.
They're diving this tier 1. My Pro is already dead. Fearless wants the tower. They're going to glyph it. Boombell and Lionx are about to die. The corrosive poison from the DK will kill Lionx, I'm sure. Double kill. Boombell is forced to pop his False Promise, but he's probably dead anyway. I think they missed the Breathe Fire, actually, which means...
Oh, my God. What was that healing?
That was a pretty sick heal. Even with the Breathe Fire, he would have survived, I think. And it doesn't matter. It just gives Jamesy a triple kill anyway. He's already got Tread's Drum, Soulring Wand. He's about to have a Blink Dagger, too. Plus, they're pushing top. Skimberloo's about to get a tier 2 tower. Like, that's a pretty disastrous, almost game-losing fight.
Pretty efficient.
If Gyro dies there, then they definitely, I think, are just owning. But Gyro wasn't there, which is good news for them.
Yeah. Although, I mean, he got a little bit of farm, but the thing is, like, you would think that he was farming that whole time. It's like, oh, yeah, that's good. He's going to come back. But he was actually heading over to the fight for most of that. Like, he was walking just towards it. Pub walking, they call it.
Pub walking?
Pub walk to the fight. Yeah, pub walking. that's like an old...
That's an old school term, huh?
Old school NA Dota term.
I've never heard that term before. That's pretty interesting.
Quit pub walking to every fight that happens. It was like anti-mage and PL and stuff as a meta. It's
wow,
like people would just...
You learn something new every day.
When really the play is like you should just
farm.
take the space. Like somebody needs to take the space in Dota. Like if you have like a draft that's not 90%, 10% in terms of your win ratio, somebody's going to need to make space. Somebody's going to need to take space. So if you don't know what hero you are, and like everybody in your team doesn't know what hero is going to be doing what, you're going to lose.
Man,
nobody'll do anything.
That's a great term. I like that term. Meanwhile, Bimbo's probably dead. Yep.
There's a lot of people that you see pub walking. Their camera will just be on other fights that are happening instead of their like general vicinity. They'll walk towards something, and then something else will happen away from them. They'll walk towards that. And a lot of the time, you'll see people like walk between lanes, and there's just 5 minutes of them doing nothing.
Yeah, they
like,
just walk around. I've had that experience personally. Like, I used to do that a lot. I used to just like walk around aimlessly. And that is the worst feeling in Dota, when you don't know what to do as a core, especially. You're just like, do I come to the fight? Do I farm? Where do I farm? Where am I going to actually be able to get?
Nice deny.
Yeah, that was nice deny for Fearless. But and the other issue though is like, if I used to have a friend that I played with all the time, and I would often say, I don't have a TP. I TP'd somewhere to fight elsewhere. Now I'm farming. And he said, and they try to take a fight somewhere, and he always used to be like, well, you could just walk to the fight. Just start walking there now. That's all. We just need you to walk there. So that kind of
be the opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
Should be the opposite. You should be walking to farm and TPing to fight.
Well, it depends, obviously. That's.
It depends. It depends. But most of the time,
you should be farming. I agree.
Since like 10 patches ago, most of the time you would want to walk to farm and then to. Speaking of fighting.
Jamesy is like just destroying people this game. Use your false promise. No, you're probably dead.
See, this
anyway.
is good. You can see that AR accepts that loss. Like
They're going
that's
bottom
exactly,
now too, and they
that's
might
exactly
if they can find this kill bottom, then that's not a bad trade of their time. Although Rio did find a double kill. How did they kill Dogbrain? What was he doing?
He was just standing really far up.
Okay, well that might just be game actually. Do they have Elder Dragon form? They don't.
Yo,
but they're gonna kill Fearless with an arrow. So.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's probably game. If
game was fine.
If Ember Spirit buys back now, the game is over. I'm pretty sure. This Moran is huge, by the way. Like she's gigantic. She's even bigger than the DK, who is like 3 triple kills or something. This is gonna be like a 20-minute game, actually.
Just like that. It's all over.
Honestly, they could just keep going, and they could always just Dark Rift away if they get into a bad situation. I'm surprised they didn't stay and just Dark Rift out. Like,
yeah.
I guess they were, the Gyrocopter's alive. They don't want to fight into that. It's a nice play. They get to tier 3. You can go get shrines now. You can back
dunk
up.
On a siege creep.
That's how this game is going for this Axe. The idea behind Axe Skyrith is good, but like they've literally just got 1 kill from that like call into Mystic Flare combination, which in order for this combination of heroes to be good, you actually need to do stuff, and he didn't do anything. He didn't get his blink fast enough, which was kind of an issue. They weren't able to find kills. They were the ones getting kind of aggressed on, so...
Yeah, there's just this tug of war in Dota of like space creation and space taking, where they needed to create space early to take pressure off the other lanes, like to take pressure off the gyro lane.
God, I had the draft overlay on literally the entire game. Great. Excellent. It's all right. The draft overlay is it's pretty fine. It's a little strip of blackness on the bottom of the screen. So instead of being able to see how much gold it's the only thing you miss out on is how much gold the player has, which is kind of unfortunate. But
okay, well for the Dire, not a lot. For the Radiant, a lot. That's basically.
My apologies, everybody. Sorry about that. This is the second time I did this tournament. This is why I have issues with freaking draft overlays. I might just use the in-game overlay next time. Oh, and I forgot. I didn't update the in-game overlay because we changed right at the... you came in at the last second, so I didn't update to have your name. Man, I'm actually struggling right now. Jesus Christ.
Saw on the stream that I was Brax.
Yeah, you are not Brax.
Hell yeah. Like, that's an upgrade. That's good.
You become ranked 20th.
Yeah.
I think that's where he's at now.
Something like that. Brax is a god.
Man, I wish I could play like Brax and just be super chill about everything. Because that's what he's like when he plays. And I know you and I are not like that.
That guy does not care about anything.
Nope. Doesn't give a shit. He is literally one of the most idgaff players I've ever... And just people in general.
If I could pick somebody on the Dota scene to know one of my deepest, darkest secrets, and they get waterboarded to try to figure it out, Brax 100% is my choice.
Wow.
Waterboard the hell out of that guy, and he's not going to care.
That's very aggressive.
Brax is just thinking, he's like, well, I'm basically already being mentally waterboarded all the time, so, whatever.
This is a very interesting point, I guess, you're making.
He's a god. He's an offline god. It's the perfect role for him.
I wish he played more pro Dota, but I also think that it's not healthy for him. I think a lot of players have trouble that's why I think Demon retired too, is because when you want to play pro Dota, you have to put so much effort into it that it just...
I'm actually making a video on becoming pro. I started writing the script today, and it's basically just a bunch of you have to be insane.
I mean, that's pretty much it. First of all, you have to be super good in pub games. You have to be one of the top players.
Which means you need literally years of competitive gaming experience.
That's a dead Reor. Putting tombs down, but they're gonna get rushed anyway. I'm pretty sure. Oh, maybe not. This might be a fight for AR. They want to get the tombstone, but they might die for it.
That's a really nice
hit,
actually.
That was a really good.
How can they fight into that pit?
Epi comes in. That's a dead Skywrath. Maybe not. False Promise wasn't there in time. I think he should have used it, but I guess he wants to save it. Call him to 2. Here we go. Gyro's doing the damage, baby. But the Miranda's here, and now you're all dead. False Promise comes out for the Gyrocopter, but he's going to die anyway. The rest of the team is already dead. This is just them being too far behind at this point. Dogbrain did a lot of damage in that fight, and he did a really good job, but once the Miranda comes, the fight is over, essentially. And that's going to be all 5 dead, so good stuff.
I'd love to see how much damage the Mjolnir did that fight. It seemed like a lot. Quite a lot.
Yeah, it was, we'll find out here in a moment. Let's see how much damage. She did 2,900. She did the most damage on her team, and she was only there for the last half of the fight, so kind of gives you a pretty good indication of how that fight went, but...
1,400 magical damage, too.
Yep.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, that's not... That's XP change.
Yeah, there's no magical damage. I was like, what are you talking about?
I thought we went over the. Whatever.
Anyway, my pro
Swear to God.
looking to find RR, who can again dark rift away if he needs to. Hit a mouse, use the Firestorm
tanky.
drop down. He is incredibly tanky with Pipe. He has a Helmet of the Dominator, which is nice too. Some extra regen. And they're going to try to just take this Rax at this point. They'll drop the Tombstone and Flesh Golem. Extra damage being taken. They need to be
God,
careful.
dropping a Tombstone like that is so insane because it has ridiculous night vision, and then also it's going to instantly cancel the Axis Blink.
Yep.
It actually has the exact range of the max Blink range, so it's like pretty impossible. You see the
He
Axe
actually just yeah, he couldn't get it off.
He literally just screwed up as I was saying that. But that's not even his fault. It's
Oh my
literally
God.
the range of Blink. Like it's almost impossible. You have to have some ridiculous timing.
The range Rax was at 10 HP and the Siege Creep hit it. And they could have denied it. They didn't know, like, which kind of sucks. But anyway, I want to go back to our, this game's over. So I want to go back to our point about pro gaming just because, like, I don't know. It's really crazy how when you're a caster like me and you think about people that are pros, you think it doesn't take that much investment. You think the only requirement is that you have to be insane at Dota. That is not the only requirement that is required for becoming a pro gamer. First of all, teamwork is incredibly important. And second of all, you just need to be super committed. You got to play Dota all the time, essentially, in order to become a pro.
You have to have, like, no social life.
Yeah,
the thing
exactly.
is, it's like, I'm not complaining when I say that. Like, it's fine. A lot of people don't want to have that social life.
It's
but
true.
The thing is, you have to be one of those people that's willing to sacrifice that because if you're trying to play pro Dota, you're gonna need to put in so many hours before you can even consider joining a real team. I see people make this mistake all the time where they're like, oh, I'm gonna take a year off and try to go pro. They're like 4K MMR or something like that. And it's like you can do that actually. You definitely can, but don't do it when you're 4K MMR. You need to get there first. There's a period that people are skipping, kind of like a lull period where you're playing semi-competitively, but you're also just doing it as a hobby. Like they say you should start something off as a hobby and then kind of transition it.
Yep.
You can't just go straight from like playing something casually to professionally. Like it has to be honestly like a second job, like you're working 2 jobs.
Yes.
It has to get to that point first, or else you're not going to be competitive enough that year that you take off is going to result in anything. It'll just result in disappointment. And that's not to say people can't do it. They can. It's just the expectations have to be realistic.
Exactly. You need to be, that's the thing, being realistic, and that's the tricky part.
Another canceled blink.
There's going to be a fight coming out. Jamesy blinks in, looking for the Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit remnants out. Mystic Flare, but RR takes little to no damage because he is number 1 in Underlord. Number 2, he has Pipe of Insight, which pops, and of course they don't do any damage. Dogbrain is man fighting Jamesy. Probably not the best man fight, but they do a false promise that they want to use it. Ember Spirit gets arrowed. He is in trouble. They do get off the false promise, but now that means the Gyro will die. He's forced to buy back. Boombill getting Mirana auto attack down because she has Maelstrom. She does so much damage. Skimberloo might die here, but she has Aegis, so they're going to clean house at this point. Dogbrain that's
buyback quit.
Yeah, it's not a great look for the disconnect for Alpha Red, unfortunately for them, but that's going to be them getting 2-0'd in this series. And
Is there some saltiness between these teams? Like there was some genuine